Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
Watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
Hi, you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, está viendo Blue Blood Deporte TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. So I want to talk to y'all about something that didn't get a lot of headlines and a lot of people not talking about. So Colin Kaepernick, if you didn't know, Colin Kaepernick went to New York City. Well, came to New York City and visited the jails. You know, one in particular, he visited Rikers Island in New York, and he talked to the inmates. He had two 45-minute sessions and talking to the inmates, and the New York City law enforcement didn't take too highly of this. They're not too happy about it. They're actually pissed off about this taking place, you know. And I'm gonna read y'all a couple of quotes from the New York Post that a couple of the officers and a couple of the COs in the jail had put out there. One of the COs said, "That's crazy to me to have a person like Colin Kaepernick in prison talking about police brutality," said one of the officers who attended the event. "It was an insult to me." That's what one of the COs said. You know, he also said, "In the inmates' eyes, we are the police when they're locked up." Talking about the inmates, you know. So he's saying that that, you know, basically that they're the police. So for Colin Kaepernick to come in here and cause an uproar, you know, because the inmates in the jail look at the COs as the police. So for Colin Kaepernick to come into the jail and talk about police brutality, it causes an uproar. I guess he's saying that, you know, it's going to cause a division where, you know, there's always if you're not from New York, I'm pretty sure you don't know how Rikers Island is close to being shut down because of the police brutality and the injustices that take place inside of Rikers Island. There's numerous deaths and all types of things that take place inside of Rikers Island. But, you know, so the CO is saying that basically Colin Kaepernick coming and talking to the inmates and telling them their rights is causing an uproar, you know, and they are the enforcers in there, you know. So he didn't like it, you know, saying that they the police. So to come in there and tell the inmates that they have rights, and so pretty much saying that they're going to cause an uproar, you know, between the COs and the inmates. You know, he had it was noted that he had two 45-minute sessions with inmates. You know, the first group had 14 inmates, 6 adults, and 8 adolescents in the group. And then he also had a sit down and a breakfast with the warden on Rikers Island. You know, you know, he had a couple of sit downs with a few people in there. You know, the inmates was asking him, you know, why did he? One of the questions the inmates asked him was, why did he take a knee? Colin Kaepernick responded, you know, he responded by saying he was calling attention to police brutality. He said he felt he felt like it was his obligation to take a stance against police brutality. You know, so you know, the police and the inmates in New York City didn't take too lightly of this situation, and Colin Kaepernick coming in and enlightening the inmates. You know, so they don't want you to be enlightened. You know what I'm saying? They don't want him to wake them up. They want these sleeping dogs to stay asleep. You know what I mean? They said in the second session, it consisted of 4 adults and 10 adolescents. You know, they said that Colin Kaepernick was more direct in his feelings about police brutality. He came out the gate with police brutality, and he said the NFL was keeping him out of the game for speaking out. You know, so he basically told the inmates that, you know, for him coming forward about police brutality, and for him speaking up and taking a stance against police brutality, he told the inmates that the NFL basically blackballed him. You know, he also was telling the inmates how they could do better in life. You know, they made a couple of mistakes. You know, it wasn't the end of the world. Basically, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but this is what they were saying. They could go on to do better things, he said. They said the move drew the ire of correction union officers who said the cop hating athlete, they called him a cop hating athlete, you know, will only serve to endanger their members by emboldening criminals who see themselves as victims of corrupt criminal justice system. So basically saying that, you know, it's just going to light a fire under the inmates' ass, and it's going to cause an issue between the inmates and the COs, you know. They also said the inmates see a guy like this coming in, it's almost like the administration is condoning being anti-law enforcers. This is via one of the officers in the jail. And another one said, another one of the COs, another one of the officers said his presence alone could incite these guys. You know, basically him just being there and giving these guys, waking these dudes up, man, is going to cause an uproar. It's going to cause these dudes to, you know, it's going to cause division between the COs, like I said earlier, you know. So it could basically, they're saying that it could incite a riot between the inmates and the guards. And this is all due to Colin Kaepernick. One of the officers also said Rikers Island has several instances of violences against the guards and hands of inmates at the hands of the inmates in recent years. Another CO came forward and said we got enough issues in the facility with inmates assaulting staff. You know, so these dudes are coming out, man. They complaining about Colin Kaepernick coming to New York, visiting the jail systems, you know, and talking to people, uplifting the people, you know, giving them hope. But the way the inmates see it, and I mean the way the COs and the law enforcement see it is you know, he's igniting a riot, you know. So if you haven't heard about this is via the New York Post, man. So if you haven't heard about this, go check this out, man. Not too many people are talking about this, you know. Not too many, you know. This kind of is flying under the radar because they don't want this to get out there that he's doing good. They don't want it to be known the things that he's doing. You know, he also visited a couple of schools in the city of New York. He also visited along with the jail. So, you know, he's doing his part. And you get a lot of people like the Stephen A. Smiths and Jason Whitlocks and those type of people, you know, knocking him, but they're not getting out there and doing it. He's doing the footwork, man. He's not just talking the part, he's actually living the part. So go check this story out in the New York Post, man. That's all I got for y'all. Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Blue Blood Sports TV. Go check this story out. Peace.
Hey, you have just finished watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications, the like button, and most importantly, the subscribe button. See you soon.